I think this is what I hate about trends. When interior designers have the opportunity to empower everything from this person and character in the room, in their office, building, brand, whatever, and they don't use this huge power within to express it in the interior design. You can make it visible, you can get it out, but some say they're not using it.
And that's what I wanted to say. I think we are able to bring this in a stylish way into the interiors.
With over 25 years of experience in the interior design business, from designing to styling, set dressing and training, she's seen the inside of over 1,000 homes and made countless residents happy. Her hospitality magic also transformed restaurants, hotels and holiday parks. 4 books under her belt, art director of one of the biggest national interior design fairs, the Weten Design Show, and living in both the Netherlands and India. With one foot in each world, it feels she got a double dose of energy. Therefore, I'm very excited and happy to have her in the Beyond Interior Design podcast to share her fresh perspective on the interior design world. Here she is, color queen and interior design coach for dreamy designers, Marigon.
Thank you. Thank you for this fantastic introduction.
Welcome.
I'm very happy to be here and very excited also and very curious about your questions.
Yeah, live from India, right? At the moment,
yes.
In your new home.
Well, this is my old home because in my new home, Wi-Fi was not working properly. So I shifted back. So I'm in my beautiful apartment and it's now a little bit empty, but background is nice now. And but I had a very happy stay here, but now we moved on to another house. And that will be also, we call it our Dutch palace in India. So but we're happy in India, and in this house we also had a good time. But now we shifted. But for now, I'm back again here.
Yeah, curious how you are going to combine those 2 cultures in interior design. Yeah. Well, first of all, when we start, I have to admit something first, Marigon, to our followers, because in the very first episode of the Beyond Interior Design podcast, the introduction, I'm telling them, I care a great deal about how it looks like, but even more, I'm more interested in why it looks like that, the story behind what we call beyond. And I want to understand it because, especially for the outside world, our profession seems to be too much about trends these days, about consumerism, the newest chair, season color, or as we like to call it, the next new shiny object. But we both know, as interior design is much more than that. So I love to hear your expert opinion on that, Marigon. So let's talk today. I'm really curious.
Well, actually, trend is also one of my favorite objects to talk about. But especially, I think because you don't, I don't follow the trend. It's very interesting what's happening around us, but it's more interesting why some trends are popping up. So last year or 2 years ago, we had this lemon vases all around. And then everyone is picking it up, and even in the cheapest variety.
Shops. Yeah.
And then I'm always thinking of what happened and why is this? Why are people picking it up? Because that's even more important, I think. Why is it attractive to people? And I think if you follow. Also follow the news and look around and see what's happening around you. That has a big influence on what our deeper desires are. The world now is, well, not only, it's not a pony camp. There's a lot of darkness around us. Also, good things, of course. There are always, it's always in a kind of a balance. But I think right now also political situations, war, things like that affect more than we think. And I think the need or the desire to surround us with more happy things is becoming bigger if the world is not at its best. So
we want the other. We always want the other side, right? If we are if everything is happy, we go very neutral. When everything is dark, we want really bright, colorful things. Yeah, I would like to dive into that later on, because that's really cool to see what's going on, and that's how we can read stuff. So let's go deeper in that later on. But you talk about these lemon vases. I always call it the golden pineapple. You know that one?
or the pink flamingo.
Oh, the pink flamingo. Yeah, it's a kind of exotic thing. I was like, why do people put it in a house? We don't even have. Well, we do have flamingos actually in Holland, in the south and the coast. But it's like where has it come from? What is this? Yeah, and it was in every level in society. You could pay $2 or €2 for this flamingo, and you could have a Swarovski flamingo at the same time in the price of a villa, of a yacht. So it's funny, but let's go deeper in that later on. First of all, I want to zoom out, because how would you describe trends? What is it then?
I think for me it's more like a movement towards something else. So
something new?
Sorry?
Something new?
Can be new. It can be also a further development of what already is.
Yeah.
And I think also the connection with people, sometimes they change a little bit how we are communicating with each other. And it's going towards another direction. And it's fluid, it's moving. And if you look back, then you realize what was the difference. And do I have a good example? Because you didn't share your questions, I couldn't prepare myself.
Well, I just prepared a kind of blueprint, I would like to go with the flow, but it's more like you said it's a kind of introduction of a new time zone, probably, or it goes more deeper. It's evolving from what we got into another thing, or it's
it's also, I think it's also had a lot to do with communication. And I have a good example. In the Dutch railway, if you are traveling by train, the announcements were always like, dear ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
And nowadays they say, dear passengers or dear travelers.
Yeah.
To make it more neutral, to not offend someone. And that's a big thing, I think. If those kind of things are, when they are moving, you really go towards another era almost.
Yeah.
And I think, if we look at the last 3 years, there's so many examples for this kind of changes, little changes in daily communications, conversations, announcements, advertising, how people are seeing other people. And from that, all other trends around us, it's influenced by that.
Yeah, so you could say this from changing from ladies and gentlemen into passengers or travelers. It has, of course, something to do with gender neutral. I'm not a lady, I'm not a man. Don't judge me or something like that. This kind of freedom we want to have. Maybe do we see the same stuff happening in interior design? If you see it shapes, color-wise, is there a switch that you can say this is gender neutral? Probably.
Well, I'm triggered by what you're saying about freedom, feeling free, more free than we used to be, I think, to be who we want to be. And I think you can see those shifting also in interior design. That it can be like 20 years ago, it was very traditional. You bought a sofa and two chairs from the same fabric, and only the same wood in the house. And it's just how your parents did it and how you also did it like 20, 25 years ago. But I think more and more people are, wanting to express themselves through interior design, through their own interior. And I think it's getting bigger and bigger because our own identity is more fluid.
Yeah. So we want to break with this patterns right now. We are in a time zone, in an era that we have enough from I'm this, I have to act like that, I have to look like that.
Yeah, I think when I was in high school, you had this also these groups. You belong to a group.
Yeah, you were sitting in the lockers, at the entrance, under the statue, outside, inside, smoking, not smoking. Yeah, yeah, stairs. Yeah, yeah.
No, but it was very. I think it was very clear.
Yeah,
you that group and not to that group, and now it's more. You are your own group, and you find your people and your tribe in several things, not in one thing. And I think that is what we are going to see back also in interior design. So you have an interior and you can't compare it with anyone else's interior, because it has so many personal choices in it that it's you can't put it in a group. And I think that's good.
Yeah, we've created there is this freedom right now to choose every item you want in life, and you can follow every trend, because there are still trends. I'm really fascinated about that, because there are still trends. But even when we do have all this freedom, there are those tribes, and those tribes determine new groups, trends, eras, items, icons, almost, for to show their identity. So that's really cool. But why do people want to act on trends? Because, you could say some shops deliver, they do the research and say, well, this is what you need in order to what?
And I think a good example is also for paint brands, the color of the year.
Yeah. Tell me more about that. I'm always Google it, and you have what is the color of the year right now?
Yeah, well, actually, Pantone started with it, I think.
Is that
20 years ago? They were the first to announce a color of the year.
Oh, wow.
And they also hype it a little bit because it's a secret, and then it will be released. And a lot of other brands picked it up in these days. And so every brand that takes themselves serious has a color of the year. And I think for a lot of people, it gives a kind of a safety.
Yeah, direction.
Yeah, but also if I choose that one, I'm good. My friends will like it. I have to like it. So I think that then it's not. I do something different than white, but then it's good. So it's more like they dare a little bit, but they don't dare everything. And for that, it's perfect. It's of course also commercial, because people go to the shop and they say, I want this terracotta color for my walls, because everyone has it and the papers are full of it. But it's something to give to people who are not creative by themselves, and they give them something in hand. So
to make them, I think you're right, to make them feel safe and comfortable, and they know they are moving with the times. They change their home. They feel fully alive, probably. Like, hey, I'm moving with the times. I'm not this person stuck in a 10-year-old interior design. I'm fresh. I'm looking to the world. This is my place. I can handle the world. Something. All these kind of emotions are involved, I guess.
It's also a sign to their surrounding, to their friends.
Yeah.
Look, I'm very well. I know what's going on. I know what the trend colors are, and I dare to use it in my house.
Yeah.
So
it's always ego. In the end, it's ego. Even the persons that are doing the opposite, it's the same movement, right? If everything is bright and colorful, and the people who are like, no, I paint my house white, and I'm always dressed in a black t-shirt, it's the same strong identity statement they want to create. I'm not doing trends. No, yes, you are very aware of trends. That's why you act differently. Because if everybody would wear a black t-shirt, you were definitely not wearing a black t-shirt for sure, right? It's really people.
We think we are original and special, but there's also this book. I forgot the name, but all the pictures of people who think they are special, but they are all the same. It's very interesting. I forget the name, but
well, if you come up later, we put it on the special landing page.
Oh yeah.
People can find in the podcast
it
description.
It's very interesting because it's a big book full of, and every page has like 20 portraits of people.
Yeah.
And but they all have a certain clothes.
Or they're all hipsters or gothics or young professionals or
the sunglasses in their hair.
Yeah.
And that's so interesting to see that all those people think that they are a kind of original, but of course we are always inspired by things around us, and everything is already invented. And that's also the interesting fact of trends. It's already invented, but it has a new coat, or it has a new combination,
new layer.
And I think as a designer, it's our almost, I would say, our duty to create something new with things that already were invented.
It's our duty, it's our role. Why is it important to do that? What does it bring us, those trends? What is, because we thought about this kind of safety, identity statement. So it's really comfortable for people. For people to follow it. Other people can just choose the other side, the opposite, and then they feel more happy, unique. But what does it bring us, all those changes every time?
I think maybe also surprise to see from another angle. If I come into someone's house and I'm there for the first time, and I notice something that I'm not used to, that it does something to me.
Yeah, it's interesting, exciting, surprising, joyful, maybe. Yeah.
It can be, maybe a piece of art, or a very special color, or a pattern, or I think, oh, wow, this is different. Or maybe how the house is built. It's also very interesting, the architecture of the space.
Yeah, the floor plan.
So there's so much to surprise people.
So do you think we need it as humans, as humanity, to have this diversity and these changes in our surrounding? Or is it just because trends are going so fast? It's sometimes you can be exhausted if you want every time the new color. It's not the color of the year anymore. It's almost a season color, and maybe it's even if you follow the fashion, follow color of the week. So you cannot keep up. But
But what is also good, and that's also like, well, a trend is something that is going on. The slow fashion is now very people talk about it, and it's very good to be aware how it works with fashion.
Tell me more. Slow fashion. What? Tell me more. What is it?
It is to be more conscious about what you buy. And what is also very interesting is that it's a nice thing to think about. And also how to, people always talking about this capsule collection in your wardrobe. So you have like 20, max 25 pieces, but you can combine this so smart that it feels like you have a lot of clothes.
Yeah.
And then you buy good quality. It can be expensive, but if you have this, then you only have to change maybe some accessories or one blouse, and then you fit in, well, the new trend or
Yeah.
new season, or and that is something. Also, people who have this 99 items in the house, to live very, very simple and declutter everything.
Yeah.
It's also a very interesting movement. And well, I think the world needs it.
Yeah.
If everyone was more aware of everything they buy, then you think twice before buying something.
So that could be another role as for us as designers, that we are doing the right research, asking the right questions to our clients and customers, what they really want, not that what they saw in the magazine. Probably it can be, but hey, you can sometimes we ask, is this all? Did you like always this brass or golden taps in your kitchen? No. But the last year, I see them so much. Yeah, but okay. Imagine 2 years from now. Do you think you still love this golden or brass taps? I don't know. So, okay, what is it your whole life that you love like so much that if you had the chance in your new home, what would it be? And then you are getting maybe more to the core of it. So I think there's a great opportunity and role for us as designers to figure out with our people and to educate them about this, well, slow fashion. I think the world is way better with slow fashion. That's what I don't like about this. I told you about trends, consumerism. That's the idea. Every time this new stupid chair with a less quality next year, it's, well, if one of the 6 chair is broken, they have to change the whole set because it's not available anymore because it's not the new season color. So then it goes on the secondhand shops online and it's worth nothing, a few dollars, euros.
Yeah,
So
true.
how can we, how do you see, how can we help our clients with this to make the right choice on this one? Because it actually is great to be an ambassador of this slow fashion. And we know quality products, there are a lot designed quality products in the world. So they can invest once and they can enjoy it for life, probably.
Yeah, I think it's for us the challenge to ask the right questions. What you also already said, and dig deeper after that, because actually I'm always working with a box with cards, and I made it myself, and they're not. Nothing is like a trendy picture. It's it's about a pattern, it's about a material, it's about a color, but it's not like the lemon vase or
No.
the pink flamingo. The pink flamingo is also not there.
No, it's
So
not. It's not a Pinterest board with choose one style and go on.
no, they're choosing very basic elements, and then I bring them together, and then there's a mood board on the table, very, very fast, and that's a good start point because I think if you choose from those kind of pictures, that's more who you are. So is it wood? Is it glass? Is it maybe plastic? Doesn't matter. Is it dark colors? Is it pastels? Is it whites? What do you pick?
Yeah.
And then what is interesting to me is especially when you help a couple, that they do it together, and well, together, but partly they do it separately. they just throw away the cards they don't like. They shift the stack.
Yeah.
I do the same. And what is left, and mostly from out of 150 cards, there's maybe 10 or 15 left that they like both. And that's the gold.
That's interesting, eh? Right? Yeah, that's why they love each other. Eh? You could say that's why you are together. That's why you're living.
Yeah, and then
when it's the opposite, so your research is like there's always this similarity. There's a kind of recipe. There are some ingredients that are familiar with the. If you look at the couples, they always have a match somewhere in this 150 cards.
yeah.
Wow.
I never experienced that there were 0 cards left. So and it all, even with 3 cards, you can do a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's also inspiring. And but what the good thing is, discussions are gone because you both like this. So
Yeah.
then you build it up, and that's actually a kind of a fundament.
Can they tell you why they love that? What's most of the time the stuff behind, or do you find it important, or you just go on, or how do you handle that?
I'll ask them more questions, but sometimes it's very hard for people to explain why they like something.
But has it to do with associations or with a kind of youth stories when they were younger, or
I think
what is?
if you ask questions, then you come to that point. But if you ask it right after they chose it,
Yeah, they have no
then
clue.
no, they say, "Oh, I just like it."
Feels good. Yeah.
And it's what you were saying, like with connecting with memories, or with a youth, or with maybe with a holiday or whatever. That can be very strong if you work with
Yeah.
what you experienced in life.
Yeah, you attach the right emotions, the good emotions most of the time. Eh? You connect that with a material or a color or a pattern, and they
Yeah,
will.
what I always like is if I between the lines, I always ask also questions what has nothing to do with interior, like what is your favorite holiday destination or things like that.
Yeah.
And then if people love France, for instance, then I also sometimes call this orange is like a little bit of bouillabaisse orange.
Yeah.
Then yeah, well, then you
You,
come to
you they end up with a fish soup wall. Yeah. Yeah.
if you eat it and throw it to the wall, you don't eat.
Yeah, throw it at the wall. Here is your bouillabaisse on the wall. But yeah, it's a powerful way to connect. Well, I think it will increase the value of your interior design if you attach so many emotions. That's why we call it this beyond layer. If you are able to add this beyond layer in your business, in your communication, then you attach so much more than, well, I like this orange bouillabaisse chair or wall. It's like, okay, but then what? Yeah, maybe you're willing to pay for this chair or this paint, but then what else? But when you have this kind of research up front, and then you attach all these emotions, and they know why this will benefit them, why they can enjoy life more with these associations and memories, you are on the spot, right?
Yeah, and that's also why I think for an interior designer, it's super important to make more time in the beginning of the project. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
there you get the information you need, and yeah, I think you're exactly on the same page,
Yeah.
because let people talk, and then we listen between the lines, and we pick those things, and then we can combine it in their design.
And
And
it's
then
almost I think it's the guarantee for a smooth design process, right? If you have a good discover phase, or however you want to call it, you have a great intake, the ideal intake with all the information. From there on, you can have all your creative freedom, right? Because you know exactly what it
yeah,
has, which
yeah,
ingredients have to be there, and you can create your own freedom to, well, to excite them more, or to stretch them, or to.
Yeah, and you can still surprise them.
Yeah.
Even if they give the whole ingredients
Yeah.
by
Yeah. Yeah.
answering your questions, but still we can make the right cocktail and shake it
Yeah.
and make something special for them.
Yeah. Well, amazing. So from trends to a kind of individual advice, what we always like, because we all want to create their ideal home and that fits their personality and character. We do all have those cheesy one-liners on some websites. We do see them. But it's in the end, that's true. That's the impact you want to create for them, that they have their home or the restaurant or the office where they thrive in life, where they are happy. But back to this trends, back to this thing, because there are many factors that are influencing trends. So you said politics or war. So you could call it this global events, the pandemic, Corona. Did you see a shift after Corona? When we were inside our houses, so it was a time that even when you are in a colder country and you had to live inside, but even when you are in a hot country and you had to live inside, home was everything. This was your world. What was happening that time? Could you see a shift after we were released again?
Yeah, I think at that time I was stuck in India. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
we were offered the last plane back to the Netherlands from the embassy, but we didn't do it. Thinking, yeah, it's everywhere the same, so let's stay here. And I think people got more aware of certain things, like also like something like acoustics. Like people were in the house, and then they realized how noisy their houses were. And then they were asking for solutions. And then more and more solutions came, like wall, yeah, like the felt and
Yeah.
things stick on the wall. That is also very decorative. So I think from there, more and more ideas came to make the houses more quiet.
Yeah, and nature involved. Yeah? We saw a lot of plants coming, entering the buildings.
Yeah, and we
Yeah.
were growing our own vegetables and fruits, and that also came into the house, into the kitchen with those
Yep.
lamps that the basilicum is growing faster, or the rosemary, and other things are becoming more important. If you live, actually, it was a very exciting period to be in, and of course a lot of bad things happened, and that's very sad. But on the other hand, I think the creativity of people was really yeah, people were really challenged to
Yep.
to make something out of this, to play with your children with the box and make things of it. And those funny videos on Instagram that people build things in their house
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
came there, and I tick 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 through. But they were busy for hours, for days to build something, make a video of 30 seconds, and
Yeah. 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 I
and
remember this. I remember the guy who was sitting in front of his washing machine with his window, and he's acting like he's in an airplane, and then he's zooming out. Yeah, this washing machine.
yes, yes,
This
yes.
was my favorite one. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
He created his own holiday in his laundry room. Yeah, with towels. He had flip flops on, and just sitting in front of the wash machine, and yeah, it was my favorite. Yeah. So global events have a huge impact. So we can kind of foresee how what can happen. If we have war, this dark side, we go into more bright period maybe, or we want to act more light and bright and colorful. Do we have as this is a kind of big, it has a big influence on us because it's mentally, it's physically, this is impacting our health and well-being, those big events. But do we have as designers the power to design the future on trends? Can we impact?
well, yeah, Yeah, I think so, but I'm thinking in what way.
Who's doing it? Maybe. Do you know a famous name or designer that determines trends? That you could say what he's doing, or he or she, or it. Let's call it gender
It,
neutral. Yeah. This designer.
let me think. Do I have a good
Or is it brands? Brands that determine trends? Can they determine the trend? You said with season colors, we have the paint colors, but
Yeah, what I really who I really admire is Saletti, because they have this. You always, if you see their products, you always feel like a child again. It's like comics or broken plates that are glued together again. You always have to get, hey, what's this? And it's sometimes it can be even a little bit extreme,
Mhm.
but it's always doing something with you. And I think for me that's a nice example of how we can a little bit disrupt
Yeah.
in a good way.
Yeah, there's a kind of lesson in there, eh? If you watch really carefully and you know the story behind, there's a message. I think that's very powerful with this kind of concepts, and people are copying it in different ways, eh, and be inspired about this gluing. Yeah, for
Yeah,
example, with this gold. Yeah,
yeah, and it's also like, okay, if you have broken pieces, what can you do with it?
yeah. Don't
Throw
throw
it.
it away. Yeah, it's the
Yeah,
same. Sustainability, durability. Yeah,
because
slow fashion.
yeah, it gives also new inspiration.
Yeah,
And uh, yeah, I think that's a good example. But I yeah, one of my favorite designers is Patricia Ucola, and
talking about identity. Huh?
yeah,
She has a
what I
strong identity. Yeah.
yes, absolutely. But always when I'm well at a show or well mostly in Milan, if I walk there and I see something new and I think, wow, this is beautiful, then I look at
At the tag, the nameplate. Yeah.
oh, it's yeah, it's from her. Maybe I recognize her hand
Yeah,
or her
signature. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Could
but
be.
and what I think it's so special is that she can work with all materials. It's not only with fabrics, but it's also with tiles, with ceramics, with wood, with glass, with mirrors, with everything. And that's yeah, I think that's if you can do that,
Yeah.
then you're yeah also free to design everything.
Yeah, it's the kind of ultimate creativity for her. She give her
Yeah,
something, give her a material, and she knows how to act with it, what to do with it.
yeah,
She
yeah.
can turn it into something beautiful and a want to have.
Yes, absolutely. But I think
Yeah.
we also as interior designers can see every new a project um, as a well, also as a new start.
Hmm.
I always try to think like, okay, this is the beginning of the project, and what can we do? There was I had once a couple as a client, and the man had a new hobby, and his wife was not so happy with it. Sorry. She
Yes.
new hobby of the man was he had a big aquarium with fish in it, so big one, and they wanted to place it in a garden setting. Well, it was inside, but with overlooking the garden,
Yep.
and they pulled it into the corner every time they were shifting with their furniture. They were every time the aquarium was in the corner, and I was thinking, it's not so nice for the fish to have two walls because
Yeah. Not nice for the fish. Yeah.
they're
Yeah. Yeah.
already in this, and then they also have two walls,
Yeah.
and then. And they also want that room had to be separated. There was a working space and a chilling space.
Yeah.
And
They needed a room divider. Yeah.
and well, of course, you know what happened. It I placed it in the middle. The man was, well, he could kiss me, I think.
In heaven, he want to marry you?
Yeah. And his wife,
Yeah.
when she saw the whole concept, she was like, yes, this is what I want. So I made them both happy with having this aquarium in the room. And I think if we can, I think we should be more playful, to think upside down, and to do things, well, unexpected things.
Yeah, because those are the real stories, right? In the end, this is the story. If they have to say something about the whole interior design, you could do every detail on an expert level, and even you can be the best designer in the world. But the story that is going on in their mind, how they live life right now, it's about this aquarium in the middle of the room, and the rest of the story is gone, actually, right?
Yeah, yes, yeah, and
It's
our goal to make them both happy.
Yeah.
And also, well, we also talked a little bit about ego, but for us, we also want to be challenged in the question.
Yeah.
What can we do, and what is our what can we add?
Yeah,
And
that's a fulfillment. Yeah, it's a fulfillment of our expertise. Yeah.
And what can we add that they couldn't come up with?
I never spoke to a designer that says at the end, well, the client was not happy, but look, my beautiful project. That's in the end,
It doesn't work.
It doesn't work, but I never met them. It is always inside everything for the client. And maybe they're not acting the right way, or they're fluttering crisscross through your design process. Well, you can learn skills for that. But on the other hand, we want to please the client. We want to give them a better, more beautiful world surrounding. Yeah. Let's go beyond interior design, because we both went to Milan this year in Italy.
We bumped into each other.
Yeah, of all the events and venues, we were that. So it's meant to be that we are here in the podcast, but we know each other from online before. What does the nearby interior design future look like? How far reaches your crystal ball, Maricon? What can you see?
Now, well, there is of course a lot of things going on about AI, and I'm still in the process of also of experiencing and also thinking about what will there be a big shift for us?
Yeah. My previous podcast guest was Dawn Scott from the UK, color queen and too, with inclusive design and for AXA Nobel. We had a podcast. We created a podcast, the previous one, about AI.
Yeah.
So it's definitely a topic that will change our.
Yeah. It's already changing things, but it's also, I think, if you talk about groups or tribes, it will also place interior designers in a certain group, I think.
I do like that perspective. I agree on that. There is, when you started with this podcast in the beginning of the episode, you talk about the tribes and groups and communities, and that's what you see, right? You already saw it with fashion, with clothes. You can dress yourself, and you are part of a community. So, well, you show them like do have the same principles or perspective on life. But now, because of the globalization of the world, I do think we are more going back to communities or tribes.
Yeah. And I also think it's good for you as an interior designer to have this handwriting, that people can recognize you for something. It can be everything.
So actually, you could say which knowing. You have to know as an interior designer which tribe you are serving or which community.
It makes it easier, because then you where you find your clients and where you find your clients.
Marketing wise,
and also people will find you.
Because they see something, they recognize something. You have a vision.
For us, but also for brands like Celetti, but also like Hey. or
Yeah.
well, every brand has its own tribe. And what I also see, if I look into my crystal ball, which I don't have, um, um, I think interiors will be more playful. That you really can use an interior. So, yeah, why not have a swing in your living room
Yeah. Or slide.
or not better?
Yeah, human playground.
Yeah. So
Yeah, that's
I
what you see. It's going. Do you think we will move to a more extreme direction in that world? Like, okay, you don't have to sit on the chair. You can lie on it, stand on it, work on it, sleep on it. What I don't know if it's a chair anymore. Could it be something like that?
yeah, I when I was in Milan last April,
Yeah.
really saw a lot of um, childish uh,
Hmm.
new designs.
It was
Uh,
fun, definitely.
yeah, yeah, it's fun. It's not so serious,
No.
and that's what I really like. That we don't take ourselves too serious, and that you can
Hmm.
also experience that in your interior. That you can well even show more who you are,
So
and
again, more freedom, actually.
yeah,
Yeah.
it will lead to more freedom.
Yeah.
That's really yeah. I'm very convinced about that. That if we are playing more, um, life will be more fun, of course, but will also makes it a little bit easier
Yeah.
and in times that we really need it.
It,
So
it reminds me of a few years ago. Yeah, this it was really subtle, but it was like if people filled in when the question like they are watching a lot of television, they feel a bit ashamed. Like yeah, yeah, yeah. But in the end, they were movie fans or documentaries, or hey, you could judge them on watching a lot of TV. But then the next question is what is it that you're looking at? What is it that you watch? So it happens to be a movie, but then they were a bit ashamed to place a huge couch where they could lie on in the TV room because I asked them, what is the ideal situation to watch television? Well, cinema chairs. No, not cinema chairs. I cannot sit in it for hours. It's, hey, that when the whole, like, this is professional watching a movie in a cinema chair. No, it's not. It was a huge couch where you could lie on, but they feel ashamed to place it in the interior design because this is not how it used to be. What should other people think about my huge couch? Now everybody knows I'm sleeping on my couch, watching television. This
yeah,
is, I'm glad that we passed this zone somewhere. Huh?
yeah.
I
But
think we're
I
over it with
it,
this shame or.
exactly this is exactly what I mean, and also I think people are more open about also about the guilty pleasures
Yeah,
to
I like that subject.
watching. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
guilty
So
pleasures.
I like this, or uh, I like Disney in my house, or
Mhm.
everything is okay. And if we can dig deeper, we can bring it to the surface and um, really help people with it, and also we can really have an impact, I think, if we help them with bringing that to their interiors.
I think we kind of sometimes it comes our interior shrink or coach, because in the end, why do they want to bring Disney in the home? There's something going on from when they're very young. If you dig deeper, that they do feel this child thing, this freedom thing, this no worries thing, this magical. Do they want to be a princess? Do they want what is going on there? I like those stories. Yeah,
Yeah, it's their hero,
yeah,
and
the
it's
hero. Yeah.
here, and it's here, and why not express it more?
I'm really glad that you say that, Maricon, because normally I do have, because There are sometimes in this trend world and other interior designers like, no, this is not the trend. No, of course I don't use Sesame Street in my interior designs, and they don't put it in the photographs. It's not portfolio proof. It's not, and they're really filtering all the authentic personal stuff, the whole power of the interior design, why it is this beautiful world for them, to conquer the world almost. They don't show it. They don't photograph it. It's a kind of showroom following trends, and every time maybe same material and signature, but where's the people that use the room, the space?
Exactly. Yeah, I now I lost my words, but
well, thank you for sharing this, because this is I think this is what I hate about trends. When interior designers have the opportunity to empower everything from this person and character in the room, in their office, building, brand, whatever, and they don't use this in huge power within to express it in the interior design. You can make it visible, you can get it out, but sometimes they're not using it.
And that's what I wanted to say. I think we are able to bring this as in a stylish way into the interiors.
That's a job, right?
Exactly. But
we are creatives. Yeah.
Yeah. It can really lift up what they really love and admire. Mm-hmm. And we can make it more special even.
Yeah, why not create a Disney interior? And it doesn't have to be a photo wall or all this. Well, if they want, why not? You know, you are the designer. You can create a beautiful space out of it. That even Disney can be jealous.
Yeah. And also, your home is the only place you have influence in how it looks. The outside world is from all the other people.
Yeah, again, the freedom is inside there.
Yeah, and why not pick it up in your own interior? So why keep this one place in the world? Make it personal, make it special, make it a happy place for you. And we can help in all ways.
Yeah. Wonderful, and thank you for sharing this, Marigon. Yeah, that's now. It was really, I told you, it's a kind of discovery, kind of research I'm doing into trends. Like, what is it? Why do I hate it sometimes? Why do I love it sometimes? But it really has to do with how we act on it. That it is there, it's okay. But what are we doing with it? How can we master the trends of interior design? How can we do it? Let's give a kind of practical to wrap up this episode, because I can imagine people are listening now and they say, well, Mariko knows, she has this not crystal ball, but she knows how to, she can see things I don't see yet. Maybe after listening, they know what to see. You get more, obviously we get more conscious after your story about where we, in which direction can we look? What do we hear? What do we see? What do we feel? What, and in what kind of time zone are we? Are we, do we look for a bright, positive new world, or are we settled? Maybe in a few years, storm is over. It can feel like that. We can foresee what's going to happen then.
And I think those both, like emotions are always there on the same time. You can look left and you can look right, and then you see different things. And you can also, it's so, if you look at people who now live in war zones, they are so resilient. How do you say that? I don't know the English word.
Yeah. I know which way. Well, they are kind of dynamic. They're moving with the.
Yeah, but even then, they are able to make small things beautiful. That's so powerful of people. So I think there's always even if the world is dark, there are always bright sides where you have influence on. You can always have an impact on yourself and on your surroundings and on your friends and family, because there's always something, that will make you happy or make your day good, or even in the most darkest days, I think, and that's how powerful people are.
We are the designers. We can design this world together.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I think what, and also what we see around, if you also in products, if you can design products that help people feeling better, that's amazing. That's just amazing, and that's happening. And yeah, I think it's and also it's more and more needed.
Yeah, wonderful. So, last question then. How can we, interior designers, interior design experts, how can we master trends to stay ahead of the curve? How is it that you do? What kind of practical advice do you have for interior designers that want to keep up, but actually, like you said, to stay ahead of the trends? How do you do that?
Yeah, I think to start learn from the past. If you know something is happening, well, COVID is a very good example for it.
Yep.
Hey, what happened? The world was in shock. What's happening around us, and then from there things were happening. We're going in a different direction. Initiatives came up, so that it's like a chain reaction. So if you if you look in the past and pick those things, and when it happens again, then you can foresee what will happen in the future. And I also read the newspapers with another eye. Okay, this is happening. What impact can this have on us in our lives, in our interiors, in fashion? What can be the reaction on this? And that's very interesting also to talk about with your friends. And I think that you can train yourself a little bit in it. So pick up the news, because I think what's happening around us, that is the start of a new direction. And try to make a puzzle in your head. Like, if this is happening now, what could be the reaction on this? How would people react on this? So that's very
learning from the past. That's a good one. Yeah, history can show you how we were acting before on Is it then, if we talk about this freedom, I'll think about this 70s then, with this 70s interior design, a little bit rebellish people, walking naked outside, fluffy stuff, playful, together, alone. Is this can we steal stuff from the kind of rebellish time zones right now to claim our freedom?
Yeah, absolutely. I think every generation has its own identity, and they at the point they really have a big impact on everything.
Yeah.
And also nostalgia is a big thing. So if we look back and we pick up the things we really liked from 10, 20, 30 years ago, 50 years ago, 100 years ago, and we bring it in our future in another package, with another layer, with another color, with another whatever.
Yeah.
We can we can use the good things from the past to make it better in the future, I think.
Great, powerful tool. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's very interesting.
Wonderful. So, yeah. Thank you, Maricon.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, a very interesting. Well, if you talk about go with the flow, this was it. I prepared a lot of questions, but it happens to be this wonderful episode. I think it's really inspiring for lots of people in our community, which is now 227,000 people in the Beyond Interior Design group, the biggest LinkedIn community right now. We're literally growing with thousands a month. So I do hope they all benefit from this great conversation and know how to act. So together we can shape the future. We know how to do it right now because you told us how to do it and to create it, to change it in a positive future. To have the right environment around us to, well, so we can conquer the world actually, claim our freedom.
Yeah, and we need some guts. And
Yeah.
yeah, if we use it, it will be better.
So
I think.
stand up and show your design powers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Wonderful. Thank you, Marigon.
Thank
Hope to see
you.
you in another episode. Maybe we're going to talk about Milan for next year because I'm already looking forward to it.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, let's keep in
Yes.
touch. And for the
Okay.
people that are listening, if you want to know more about Marigon, go to the podcast description. There's the link for her special page to connect with her on social media and so on. And to get to know more about Marigon. Thank you very much for listening. See you next time.